Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about the shorter version of This Is Fate. Prithvi and Sherlyn are now poor and they are living in the tournament. And in this update, you will get to see how Prithvi dressed and disguised like a rich man and goes to the auction of Karan's property in order to buy Karan's bat and use it to humiliate the looters. Let's continue. Late in the night, Karan is looking at Pritha's picture on the projector. Anjali comes there and mentions Pritha's name. Karan gets angry and says that Pritha is a really beautiful woman, but with a very deceitful and ugly mind. Karan asks that why did Anjali comes to him at this time. Anjali asks if she can ask Karan a question, and Karan says yes. Anjali asks Karan if he loves Pritha so much. Karan thinks of all the beautiful moments that he had with Pritha in the past and says yes. He really loved Pritha so much, but now he only ate her. Karan says that from the beginning, he and Pritha never had an equal equation because right from the very first day that they met, then it was always from one fight to the other and they never really love each other. But as time goes on, their fight and hatred turns to love and they both love each other so much and everything between them was extreme, whether it was love or hate. Karan recalls his memories with Pritha and says that the worst emotion is hate and now his heart is filled with hatred for Pritha. Karan asks Anjali to go and sleep because it is getting late, and Anjali asks that when is Karan going for the auction organized by the Lutras to celebrate his 5 years death anniversary. Karan says that he is going for the auction tomorrow by 11 a.m. sharp and he cannot wait to see all his enemies. Karan says that he has 2 more enemies apart from Rishabh and Pritha, and their name is Prithvi Malhotra and Sherlyn. Karan remembered the time that Prithvi used to challenge him and how Sherlyn usually warned him against Pritha, but he refused to listen to Sherlyn. Karan says that he feels that he should have listened to Sherlyn's warnings against Pritha then, because what Prithvi and Sherlyn did to him was nothing compared to what Pritha and Rishabh did to him, and now his mind and soul is screaming for vengeance. Anjali leaves the room and she thinks to herself that she doesn't know how many enemies Karan have and how many people has hurt a good-looking man like him. On the other hand, Prithvi and Sherlyn have started living in a tournament because they don't have money. Prithvi come back home and asks Sherlyn to bring water for him, but Sherlyn replied that she is not Prithvi's servant and she is in this mess because of him, so it should not add to her problem. Prithvi says fine, then he will get the water by himself. But when Prithvi stands up to get the water, the money that Prithvi stole from one of his friends earlier falls down from his pocket, and Sherlyn was shocked to see so much money with Prithvi. Sherlyn says that she has once again seen so much money after a very long time in her life, and Sherlyn tried to pick the money, but Prithvi asked Sherlyn not to touch his money, and Prithvi quickly packed all the money and says that he will not give Sherlyn anything from the money. Sherlyn says that she wants to buy some rice for the house and it has been a long time that she wear makeup, so she really needs some money to do that, but Prithvi refused to give Sherlyn any money. Prithvi says that he wants to go to the auction of Karan's property and he would buy Karan's cricket and burn it in front of the Luthra family, and then he would be satisfied that he has finally taken his revenge. Sherlyn asks that from where did Prithvi get all this money. Prithvi says that he worked so hard and earned the money from his hard work, so Sherlyn should not question him. Sherlyn says that she knows that Prithvi cannot do any hard work because all he knows how to do is to gamble, so she is sure that Prithvi stole this money from someone and the police will come looking for him one day, so Prithvi should return the money to the owner. Prithvi asks that why does Sherlyn always think low of him and all he is asking for is a moment of peace, so since Sherlyn cannot give him peace, then he is leaving, so Prithvi ran away from there. Prithvi thinks that whenever he tries to move ahead in his life, then Sherlyn always pulls him back, but not now. Just then, Prithvi sees his neighbor coming with the police, so he quickly hides and he calls Sherlyn on the phone to leave the house immediately and he would call her tomorrow to tell her when she will return to the house. At the Luthra house, Samru is smiling while chatting with someone and Shruti immediately thinks that Samru is cheating on her with another woman. Shruti goes to complain to Raki that Samru is talking to another woman, but Karina scolds Shruti, asking if she would ever be serious in her life because she is always talking nonsense. Grandma sits beside Rishabh and talks about how naughty Kavya is becoming these days because Kavya always wants to take selfie with everyone because she thinks that she is a star. Shruti says that Kavya is truly a star because she will definitely become a model when she grows up. Samru disagrees and says that Kavya wants to become a cricketer just like her father Karan, so Kavya will be sent to a female cricket college. Pritha comes there with a prayer tray and asks everyone to take the offering. Raki asks if Pritha went to the temple, and Pritha says that she went to the temple and she made some donations. Rishabh tells Pritha that they should leave for the auction, and Raki says that she hopes that the auction will start in 1,000 and ends in million, and Raki says that she would also go to the auction with Rishabh and Pritha. Rishabh says that the auction is meant for Karan's fans, and Raki says that she is also Karan's fan, and she even sold her jewelry to take part in the auction. Rishabh says that Raki should not do this because Karan's cricket kit should go to someone who can maintain his legacy, and Raki would only be crying every day if she keeps Karan's belongings with her, and he doesn't want that, and Karan would also not be happy seeing Raki sad. After a lot of persuasion, Raki decided to stay back, and Rishabh, Pritha and Samru leave for the auction. Prithvi arrived at the hotel where the auction is happening and is happy that he would once again show the Lutras what he is capable of doing. Prithvi is about to enter the auction hall, but the guard stops him, saying that he doesn't look like a rich man who can participate in the auction of the famous cricketer Karan Luthra. Prithvi begins to fight with the guard, and Prithvi shows his stolen money to the guard. The guard goes to Samru, who is busy attending to the guest, and the guard tells Samru that the man is here for the auction, but the man doesn't look rich, but he has some money, so he came to ask if he should allow the man to come in. Samru tells the guard that the man might be one of Karan's fans, so the guard should allow him in. The guard goes back to Prithvi and allowed him into the auction hall, and Prithvi begins to taunt the guard for disrespecting him. Pritha begins to smile looking at Karan's poster in the auction hall, and she begins to remember all their beautiful moments together. Rishabh comes to stand beside Pritha, who is lost in her thoughts. Rishabh says that it feels nice to see Pritha smiling, and Pritha comes out of her thinking and says that she is really happy to see that Karan's dream is being fulfilled, and Karan would have been happier to see all this if he was alive. Rishabh says that Karan would even be more happier to see Pritha smiling, and Pritha smiles. Pritha tells Rishabh that if Karan would have been here, then he would have surely complained that why is his posters not big. Rishabh laughs and says that his brother was truly crazy when he was alive. The event manager comes there and asks if Rishabh would like to give a speech before the event starts, and Rishabh leaves there to see to the arrangement of the function. Prithvi enters the auction hall and says that he feels that he is made for a rich man's lifestyle, but just then, Prithvi gets a call from Sherlyn, and Sherlyn asks that where is he. Prithvi says that he is busy, but Sherlyn says that she asked Prithvi to bring some rice for her to cook, but she has not seen any rice. Prithvi says that his life is ruined because of Sherlyn, and he is meant to live a rich man's lifestyle, but he is forced to live as a poor man because of his wife. Sherlyn asks Prithvi not to put the blame on her, because Prithvi is the one who gambles and drinks alcohol with the little money they make. Prithvi says that he is in an hotel for the auction, and Sherlyn is asking him to bring some rice, but he cannot, so Sherlyn deserves her poor lifestyle, and Prithvi angrily ends the call. Prithvi says that he will buy the cricket bat of Karan in 1,000, and he talks to Karan's posters and says that he misses him because he loves to fight with him, and he doesn't know if his death is right or wrong. Meanwhile, Karan arrives at the auction with his team, and he collides with Prithvi. Prithvi, who couldn't recognize that it was Karan because his face has been changed, gets frustrated and says to Karan that he should not think of himself as Karan because Karan is more popular than him and is just a fan. Karan was able to recognize Prithvi, and he turns back and says that Prithvi has not really changed at all because he is still as before. Karan says that Prithvi is like an e-goat and he doesn't deserve to be here, so he should go back to the forest. Prithvi was shocked and he wondered what is going on because it is only Karan that calls him a goat, so why is this man talking and behaving like Karan? Karan lives with his team and Prithvi thinks of changing his clothes, otherwise the Luthras would recognize him. Prithvi sees a coat that was hanged with some glasses and he goes there and takes it. The waiter comes there and says that the dress belongs to Mr. Johnson, but Prithvi assures the waiter that he only wants to give the clothes to the owner, and he leaves. Pritha is standing and she begins to feel strange as if Karan is close to her. Karan also comes there and looks at Pritha. Pritha remembered that he was the same man that saved Kavya and he also called her irresponsible. Karan also thinks of how he told Pritha that maybe he came into her life for a purpose. Rishabh comes there and Karan introduced himself to Rishabh as Arjun Suryavanshi, and he liked Karan Luthra a lot and he is one of his fans, so he is also here for the auction. Karan says that Karan was a very nice man, but his families are not like him. Pritha is shocked after hearing Arjun or Karan's words. Just then, Karan says that he was only cracking a bad joke and he stretched forth his hand to shake Pritha. Pritha begins to remember a moment with Karan and she gets worried and asks that what is Arjun doing at the auction. Karan says that he came to the auction because they are bound by blood and relationship and they would continue to meet again and again. Pritha couldn't take it anymore and she leaves from there. Samru comes there and Rishabh introduced Samru to Arjun and says that he is Arjun Suryavanshi who saved Caviar. Samru asks him and Karan gets a flashback of his memories with Samru. Then Samru takes Karan and his team to the table. Prithvi changed his clothes and sits at the auction and nobody could recognize him as he had already disguised himself as a rich man. The auction begins and Rishabh opens the auction by saying that it was Karan's dream to open an academy where people who are not financially stable can do the cricket practice free of charge, and they are doing this auction to fulfill Karan's dream. Karan thinks that this is all a show off because he knows the truth about Rishabh. The auction starts and everyone begins to bid. Prithvi bid for 1,000 and Karan bid for 2,000. Prithvi again bid for 2,500 and Karan thinks that he is done with the game, so he bid for 3 million. Prithvi was shocked, thinking that he doesn't even have 1 million, but this man is paying 3 million for Karan's belongings. Prithvi goes to Karan and begged him to let him win the auction because it is really important for him, because he wants to burn the bat in front of the Luthras and he wants to see the Luthras getting hurt. Karan gets angry and tells everyone that this man is here to burn Karan's bat. Everyone were shocked and Rishabh asked the security to throw the man, actually Prithvi, out of the hall. Prithvi was thrown out of the hall and Rishabh calls Karan to the stage and he announced Karan as the winner of the auction, and finally Karan wins and gets all of his belongings back to himself while Pritha keeps crying looking at Karan's properties being given out. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like this video because it is very important for this channel and for this video. And I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.